Hey, good evening.
Dino, saying it like it is. How are you, sir?
Good evening, everybody. How's it going tonight?
Good, man. I want to change this banner behind us real quick. Hold on one second. Let me change this so that we're not looking at all that. Let's make it okay. I think that's a little bit better. And then let me go. We're gonna go there. Okay. So Dino, listen. First, I want to say you're one of the first channels I watched. I commented on some of your stuff. You might not remember. I was like, man, you remind me of my uncle. Where are you from?
Yep,
Like,
I remember all that. Yeah.
a fan and still am a fan. So just because we disagree doesn't mean I don't respect you. I want to get that out the way. However, I want to hear your perspective on DoorDash in your market. Are you still doing it? Why do you hate them? And what are some solutions that you might have that might help us right now? Like I want to hear from you. I'm ready to listen a little bit.
All right. So before we begin, though, I think you on your short you left a cheap shot against me, trying to call me an old grumpy old guy that cannot make a market. Did you know? Do you know when you were making that remark? Did you assume that I was doing DoorDash? That I'm doing DoorDash right now?
No, I have no idea. I'm making that slide comment because grumpy old man's just a thing. Like I'm a grumpy old man. I'm 42, so it's a little shot, but you're a big man. I know you can handle it. I know you're not easily offended, but I said it. Yeah, I meant it, but I have no idea. The reason I want you on here is because I feel like a lot of the videos I watch, when I was making my content in the beginning, I was a little more negative than now. I'm still kind of negative, but people call me a shill. I try to be a little more positive. I try to have but your videos have always kind of been like DoorDash is evil, Walmart's evil, Uber. So nothing's changed on your end. And that always kind of fascinated me. So I always thought like Dino seems like a smart dude. He's been in the restaurant industry. He talks about the places he worked. Like you got a nice home out there. Like you're not stupid. So like I always wonder like why is he still working these apps if they're trash? That was always something that just kind of fascinated me.
Well, the reality is that I started making it in my market since September of 2023. That was my last day doing DoorDash.
Okay.
And after that, I was making it with Spark until today. And I've been making it since the end of September until today. I'm way happier, less miles on my vehicle, less gas, less traffic, less headaches. And I'm making double the money that I was making for years working on DoorDash.
So in your market, Spark's not oversaturated yet?
Now it's getting oversaturated right now. And it's affecting, all the platforms are being affected right now. So all the gig economy companies are not at fault right now at this minute, completely. It's the economy, the inflation right now, and the customers mostly, the issues right now that are happening with all the gig apps. It's the tip. Customers are not tipping. But the video that I made, my last video that I made, I didn't mention your name though. I did not mention you. You noticed that, right? I didn't say paid or anywhere on my video or anything.
Yeah, sure. So let me ask you a question.
You pick up some things that, oh, he watched my video. But I didn't put out your name though. And which channel? I said gig economy creators in plural, meaning in general.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to go after you specifically, because if I'm trying to do that, I would mention your name and your channel, which I didn't.
Oh yeah, I don't think you're trying to go after me, and I'm not. When I say content creators, we're speaking in general, like we're just broadly. We see things, and you and I might see the same things, and we see this. Yeah. We know who those 20 to 30 content creators are that most people kind of watch. Like it's not. I don't take that personal, but I think it's more like why. So if you haven't done DoorDash since September, how do you know it's bad?
Okay. Now the video where I made the video, what I talk about in the video is that the responses that I got from 20 other drivers, excluding myself. So I was not talking about my experience. I was talking about the answers and results I got from asking 20 of the Spark drivers where I work, because I see them every day. We're like, friends in a way, because we see each other, we hang out. You have to be at the hotspot. You got to be outside. We have coffee, we have soda, we hang around and we talk. So the DoorDash topic came up with one of the drivers there. And that's how I started listening in, and I joined the conversation. And then after about a week, I figured, why I don't ask these drivers why they do not want to do DoorDash, and strictly they're doing just Spark, while they do have the Instacart app. I asked them, they have the Uber Eats app, and they also have the DoorDash app. And these are all DoorDash drivers before they started doing Spark. All of them. With the exception of three people, they worked at an office and they straight into Spark.
Mm-hmm.
So they have no prior DoorDash experience or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of them are DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub drivers. Instacart too. So the question I asked they gave me the reasons why they don't like DoorDash or they hate DoorDash. But the number one reason is the money. It doesn't pay. That was the answer I got from them. That they're making more money with Spark. So even though they hate on DoorDash, they're not sitting back and saying and still doing DoorDash and complain. Mm. They moved on. Mm. They're all doing Spark. So they're making double their money. But they are hating on DoorDash, but they are making double and triple their money. So that I felt kind of like, how are they wrong? If you're saying that they're wrong, if they're haters of DoorDash and they're wrong, how can they be wrong if they're making double their money now? Mm. Even today, I asked them today, because I know we were going to be on a live stream, and asked them the same thing. What's the first thing that comes in your mind? He's like, it's the pay. That's the number one reason.
Now, let me ask you a question. And first off, thanks to the chat. Thanks, Thunder. Appreciate that. But Dino, let me ask you a question. When you say pay, do you think those drivers are you focusing on the base pay and how it's low and things like that, and maybe the mileage just doesn't make sense for the base pay? Or are you talking about just pay overall, base pay and tips and the overall earning capability with DoorDash?
The way they explain it to me is the overall pay that they get, because it's the $2 and $3 for 10 miles. That's how they explain it to me.
Yeah.
It's the $2 and $3 offers that they end up getting at the end of that offer when it's completed. And for them, it's like it's not worth it. Mm. And they, like I said, they also added other reasons where they don't show you the tip. Like, and you mentioned that they don't show you the customer's name. Sometimes they don't show the address, depending on your market. So there was a lot of other reasons, but the top reason is the money.
Yeah.
And they are making, and I'm seeing it myself, I'm making double the money that I used to make. And if I'm hating on DoorDash, how can I be wrong that I'm making double my money? I got to be right, because I'm making more than I did before.
Yep. That's fair. I mean, that's your perspective. I mean, and listen, I got to say this.
Your video backs up my video, because you made a video, and you mentioned it tonight and other days. You made a video why DoorDash Dashers are leaving the platform in 2024. And your reasons back up my video. Mm-hmm. You gave reasons why they're hating, and you said they have good reasons for it. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned, actually, you did something even better. You added like 10 or 20 more reasons than I did. So you added more to the evidence of why and the reasons why these Dashers hate it. And then you got to look at all the responses you got from that video that you made about DoorDash is leaving. What's if the percentage is positive and what is negative? Because I looked at all the comments from your subscribers on that video, and it looks like 80% are negative and 20% are positive. So the majority of the response you got from that video that you made is negative. And I'm seeing this in Florida. UDM is doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. How to make more money without DoorDash. That was not UDM before. We have to be honest. And he also made another video why DoorDash pay is so low. Mm-hmm. So there's something going on. It's not just my market. Bree made a video just like yours. Bree made a video talking about why they're quitting the platforms, the Uber Eats and DoorDash platforms. She made a video similar to yours. And I'm seeing this trend in New York. I'm seeing this in people that I know from New York who work on the platform. And also in Tennessee. And in some other areas. And I see a lot of negative shorts talking about DoorDash. So it looks like kind of like a small epidemic that's going on right now against DoorDash. So it's not like I saw something, one story or two stories or three stories. There's a lot. There's a lot. You talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about it. UDM is talking about it. Bree's talking about it. So it's like there's something happening.
Yeah. So I get that. I think you're optically you're looking at it like, hey, I'm hearing from these 20 other people and that are doing Spark that used to do DoorDash, and then I'm seeing other content creators from across America saying similar things about the DoorDash issues, why people aren't doing it, the pay. So then you're kind of like, okay, I haven't done this since September. So like, okay, let me give my opinion on what I'm seeing other people talk about. I get that. But let me ask you this. If you haven't done this since September, how do you know it's bad in your area still?
Because
do you not have trust in it anymore? Like when you turn
no, it's not me personally. It's that sometimes I joke with them, try to push them. Like when we're slow sometimes with Spark, I try to push, let's go do DoorDash, let's go do it. And they all like frown. They'll give me that frown look. Like I'm being serious, but then I turn around like, hey, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just playing around.
Yeah.
But they give you that frown look when you mention DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? And what I do sometimes in my market when it's slow, I turn on the DoorDash app, not knowing that I'm not going to accept any offer.
Yeah.
But just for like research purpose, like an experience to see what's going on. And sometimes it'll be like an hour and a half or 2 hours and I won't get a single offer. So I'm like, it looks like I'm not missing anything.
Do you have the tier program or the diamond program in your area, Dino, or not?
I don't even know that if I have.
You don't know if you have it or not. Okay, it might be a deciding factor as to why. That's a big. Who knows if that's real? If they prioritize drivers? I mean, I think there's something to it. Other people can argue the other side, and they could be right. I don't know the algorithm. I can only give my perspective, but I'm happy to hear that you're not doing it. That actually puts a smile on my face because I've always kind of given you shit and other people shit and myself shit when I hear people talking about an app they don't like, but they keep going back to it and they keep doing the same shit and expecting a different result. So I got to commend you for trying something different. I think that's good. If you're doubling your money, it's about damn time you did. That's good. That think about you should have did that 2 years ago. You might have been you might have a different.
I said that.
The gig economy.
I said that if I started doing Spark 2 years, actually doing Spark 2 years ago, their base pay was $20.
So what is it right now, Dino?
Right now, this is how it works. The base pay is the minimum. It changes. Okay. Now it used to be $20. The base being like the low volume and the low weight, like a basic delivery, like a very small basic delivery, and it starts from 20 and then it goes up.
Yeah.
Now they have changed it to 11. They've dropped it down to 11. Now, yesterday I had an order with a base pay of 25 with no tip. DoorDash cannot compete with that. True or false? Because you just said 7, 11 for the shopping pays is the base pay you see.
No, well, 11. Yeah, I think with DoorDash, I mean, I've seen some high base pay. I don't know if I've seen $20 base pay, Dino. It's not
Sephora.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not normal. I've maybe seen it 4 or 5 times.
Exactly.
There's a couple of merchants that you can't leave a tip on, or like you're delivering like bouquets of like edible flower arrangements, and like the mileage is usually like 15 miles plus. But I've done some. It's not normal though. But I do.
Sephora is the number one.
Yeah. It's like a.
I used to get $25 with DoorDash, $25 base pay, no tip.
With no tip, no tip.
Only Sephora though. Only
that's
Sephora.
not normal though. Yeah.
But
once a week pays on a weekly basis. Shopping pays. I see $10, $15 base pay. I'll get a $25 Aldi. It could be $12, $13 base pay, $10, $12 tip. I get those several times a week now. But I have the shopping pay. Maybe St. Louis shopping pays are really good on DoorDash and other markets. But I definitely the base pay. I see the $2 as well. But I see, with the shopping pays, I see higher base pay in my market.
So with that, you see Spark is paying double that.
Yeah, but my question was, so when you started, the base pay was higher with Spark. Now it's lower, correct?
Yeah, it has gone low. Yeah.
So Spark, in my opinion, is gonna do the same thing that Uber Eats does, DoorDash, Grubhub. They've all lowered the base pay. We all know that these companies are gonna do that over time. I think it's good to start a new app like I started doing. Deliver that. I like it. They do a tip pool. You don't know how much you're really making, but there's a range basically you're going to make between 27 and $40 on most runs, and that's good money. It's a good order. It's catering. Sometimes you got to set up a lot. Sometimes your setup's really easy. But like that, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but the base pay on that company 4 years from now could be less. Like all these companies kind of do that.
Yeah,
at
but
some
at that
point or
time,
another.
when Spark gets to that level,
Yeah.
what's going to be the base pay on DoorDash when it's going to be even lower?
Yeah. What's up, UDM? How you doing, man? I mentioned
I'm going to go lower, but they can never compete with the Spark base pay. That's what I'm trying to get at. Even though it's lower now, it's still higher than Uber Eats and Grubhub and DoorDash. It's still higher.
Absolutely. I think, for me, and this is going to be, everybody says this and we all know this, it's obviously market dependent. What UDM does in Florida, I might not be able to do in St. Louis and vice versa. What Dino does you're in Phoenix, you're in Arizona, right?
Arizona, Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah. So like what you do, somebody might not be able to do in Chicago or California or New York. Like, I always felt like it's our responsibilities as independent contractors, as subcontractors, as whatever we want to call ourselves, to find the app that works for you. And I always just never understood, like, why are people so negative on DoorDash, but they still work the app? Or they don't understand, like, DoorDash is telling you, in my opinion, they're telling us exactly what they expect. And they've changed the game. And I don't like it but I adapted a year and a half ago. So my perspective and my experience with the app is different because I adapted such a long time ago. So I also realized if somebody's trying to adapt right now and they got a low AR and they don't like the shop and they're not in the pizza program, like, I understand their hill to climb is a lot steeper than mine. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. But like, at some point we got to like do what you did. I didn't know you didn't do it anymore. So that's good. If you haven't worked this since September, that's fantastic if you're making more money. But I would also say, if you haven't worked this since September, how can you speak on it that it's a trash app? How can you say it's bad if it's been that long since you've worked it? Maybe some things have changed in your marketplace.
Like I said, I turn it on once in a while for kicks to see if I get an offer or not. Because only on times when it's slow.
Yeah.
And I notice it right there.
Yeah.
Even if it was a good offer or a bad offer, I still wouldn't accept it because I have the Spark app running at the same time. But just to see, just for curiosity to see, what am I going to get? And a lot of times when I try to turn on it, it's all gray. It's always gray.
Yeah.
I cannot dash anytime. And then when I see it's red, it's like once in a blue moon, and then I hit it. And then after about an hour and a half, I might get an offer, and it's like $3 for 10 miles. I'm like, there it is. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean
I get it.
It's for everybody. It's just for me and for the market that I'm in. People see that. You see what I'm saying? Their experiences too, combined with the stuff you're saying, what UDM is saying, what other creators are saying, and people that I know from other states, what they're saying, it becomes a bigger picture than just only knowing what's going on with these 20 drivers.
Yeah.
It's a lot more going on.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think, even I get caught up in like the community that might comment on my videos or other people's or live panels. And like, I get caught up in, I think some of us, I'll speak for myself. And I think it's fair to say others. So we think we know what's going on because of what we're talking about in this very small niche on YouTube. And I don't know. I would love to know. And it'd be hard to know. I mean, there's millions of drivers. I would love to know if most DoorDash drivers are struggling. And I don't know if all of us can really say that definitively, just based on a couple of conversations and a couple of live streams. I think there are still enough DoorDash drivers out there that are doing okay. I know we see some on YouTube that report good earnings. They're pretty, they're making good money. They're having a good perspective, and that might change for them. But like, I'd be interested to know, like, how many, but let me ask you this, what percentage of DoorDash drivers do you think are not making fair money on the DoorDash platform? What percentage do you think?
Now, if I compare you see what I do is I put all the stuff that I can put together, either your market, my market, what you're saying, what I'm saying, what these people that work with me saying, and everybody else in other markets.
Yeah.
And if I have to guess the percentage, I have to say that 20 to 30% of people are doing good with DoorDash.
Are doing good. So 70% are struggling. 70 to 80%.
About 60, 70%, yeah. Roughly.
Yeah. And then driving with Chris says 70, Eric says 80. So kind of right on par with your thought process there. Yeah, I mean that could be accurate. I do think there's a lot of
it's not. It doesn't mean that it's accurate, like scientifically accurate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could be.
It's this gut feeling that we all are getting, and it's a gut feeling like unified with all the drivers' perspective about that platform.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to get, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to, or will ever be able to accomplish it. I want to get past the gut. I want to get past the gut, past the heart, and I want to get like some facts. I want to get like, I would love.
That's the thing. They twist the scientific. You know what I'm saying? There's people who are under control who twist the scientific data.
You mean DoorDash? You mean DoorDash can twist it?
Don't speak only DoorDash. DoorDash was not around for many years. There's people before, years before that, they knew how to manipulate the system. DoorDash was not even born. Okay, they learned it from them. So what DoorDash can manipulate, and we found out in news articles and feeds that they have been manipulating their revenues to their shareholders so they can invest. Remember that? You covered that. You already covered that.
Yeah.
I covered that, and other people have covered that. And there was news. It was on the channels.
Yeah.
Said that DoorDash was manipulating their earnings.
Yeah.
And to fool their shareholders and the market shares and all that. So
yeah. Man, these big companies do some shady shit, man.
They got the money to do it.
That's a good point. The money, the power, the lawyers, the influence, the politicians, maybe. Like, I get that. That's definitely not lost on me. Let me ask you this. So do you think as content creators, because I've been told this before, that I'm guilty of oversaturating markets, and other people have talked about it. Like, Pedro, you talk about DoorDash too much. If you give up too much tips and tricks, then you're gonna like oversaturate the country, and people are watching. And now don't give away all the secrets, and don't talk about this app. I've been talking about Deliver That. Some people are giving me shit about it because, like, well, now more people are going to be on Deliver That. I'm like, I'm just sharing my perspective, So do you think that as content creators, and even if it's on Facebook or Reddit or YouTube or whatever, when we're sharing information about the amount of money we're making, that's good. Do you think that is serving a negative to us long term, because now more people are going to come to the apps to make money?
To give you an honest answer on that, it's a possibility. Yes, it's a possibility.
Yeah, I think so. It could be, but we're not touching that many people, so it's hard to figure out if that's like how real.
Because somebody who's not doing that platform that you're doing, that you're mentioning, and he's on a DoorDash or Uber Eats app, and he's listening to you, he's gonna say, "Well, let me try it."
Some people might.
You just added somebody without indirectly, of course, but somebody just got added.
Yeah.
How many people are watching that, and what other channels are talking about the same app, and how many more people you're adding in there? Yeah. But you're not doing it on purpose. You're feeling like you're doing something to help the community, but at the same time, it's like a saying. What do they say? Once you're trying to push people forward, but ends up going, backwards instead of going forwards, it goes backwards.
Yeah, UDM just says such a small percentage.
Steps down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, UDM says it's such a small percentage. I believe that.
It's small, but it happens. Yeah,
it is, and that's what I was saying in the beginning of my little monologue. Right, I was like, we think we're touching a lot of people, but we're not. So when we're getting information from drivers about an app, whatever app, we'll talk DoorDash now. I think we think we know what's happening, but I think there's more happening that we don't know than we. I think there's more actually happening that's true versus what we think is actually going on as far as the experience from a dasher's perspective.
But why is that an issue? Why is that an issue?
Say it again.
Why is that an issue that you don't know so much information? Because there's no transparency. They don't want you to know. They don't want me to know because that's a secret. That's the secret. The gig apps have a secret. They're not going to let the whole populace know about their secret. They're making billions and billions of dollars. They're not going to let you in on that secret. You see what I'm saying? That's why you said that a lot of times. I've said the same things you said. The transparency. There's no transparency. There's a reason for that. And Spark is not the queen of hearts of an app either.
Right.
They're doing shady things too. But at the end of the day, it's just the money. That's the thing that they're holding on to, is that they're making more money. That's the difference. It's the money. At least they can say, well, They're doing some shady things like DoorDash, but at least we're getting more money today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to make some more money.
Yeah.
And that's what's keeping them there. But if it was the same pay, it would have been evened out. There would have been that many people on DoorDash, that many people on this platform. If they all were paying the same, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've always, in I would say the last 6 months, my opinion, in my perspective, and I've come to realize, I think these apps are more similar than they are different. I think there are a lot of people that think they're a lot of different, like Spark's better, or this app's better, or Grubhub's better than DoorDash, or Instacart's better. I think they're more similar. I think at the end of the day,
like the techniques that they use, or
techniques, pay. I think there are some apps that are going to pay you more overall for an individual order, but depending on how much time you have to invest or mileage or whatever, it could be really close. I think the marketplace sets what you're going to make. Now, you might have a different experience on Spark versus Instacart or DoorDash because you like shopping or don't like shopping, or what the algorithm or what the app sends you is just like organically more mileage, so it takes you more time. But for me in St. Louis, DoorDash, I could do one Instacart and make $40, or I could do 4 DoorDashes and make $40. And the time it's going to take me, most of the time, is going to be the same exact amount of time. Now with Instacart, I might drive a little bit less mileage, and I might be servicing less consumers, but the time is about the same, right? The profits might vary $1.50, $2 here or there, and that's important. But I think these apps overall, what they show us, what they take from one another, the information they hide, I think they're more similar in my opinion. And that's why I always try to have people think hey, I know DoorDash is trash right now for a lot of people. At least that's what people are saying. And I think it's good that we need to try other apps. I'm trying other apps. I'm going to continue to possibly try new ones just to show the community, have a different experience, whatever. Because DoorDash can be boring for me. I've done enough DoorDashes, But I think eventually these apps will start to, and I don't want to be negative, but I think they'll start to be similar. They'll see how DoorDash is what they're doing, and they'll take things from it. DoorDash is taking things from Uber, with the tier system that was on Uber before, I believe, something similar. So I just, I worry that we worry about these apps versus focusing on other ways to make money, maybe even outside of the gig economy, right? And just having a better experience for our money. Because these apps, I think we're going to all make about the same. And I think a lot of people are struggling because of oversaturation and financial crisis that America's in. So people are spending less, and it's not pandemic days. So I think there's other causes for the money to be less.
There is
versus DoorDash just lowering the base pay. I think there's way more important things. So to focus on that, I think is one-sided, short-sighted, in my opinion. What do you say to that?
But you also mentioned that you are agreeing that recently you are feeling a difference with DoorDash. For the past 4 months.
I'll bring up my earnings. I'll share my earnings with you guys.
Because of what you said on your video, that you said that you mentioned all the drivers' reasons why they're not doing it, but you're saying I'm still doing good. But even though I'm saying that, you said that I have been noticed a difference this year.
The difference that I've noticed.
Not doing as much as DoorDash like you used to do last year and the year before. You even mentioned that. So.
The main difference is overall orders that I like, the volume of orders. Right? There are times in an hour I might only see 4 offers, whether I decline them or take them or what. I don't, But back in the day, I might have seen 6. So, and that probably has to do with the volume being down because consumers are ordering less, and then also more dashers in my area. But the money that I'm making isn't that much different because I adapted with the lower base pay and the lower money on the stacks by doing the shopping pays, having priority on that, doing the pizza program, having a high AR in the diamond zone. I see a difference. So I worked 20 hours and I made $583. So that's not, you can't tell me that's bad money.
No, I'm not going to say that.
So, and that's, I know that if I go out, that's about what I'm going to be. My active is going to be like $28 to $30, sometimes a little bit more. But it's my dash time is different because I'm also doing Instacart and maybe deliver that, maybe a curry run. And I have the app on. DoorDash might be on or pause. So, but I'm making above what DoorDash is telling that most drivers are making. So like when I hear that the app is trash, I think some people just haven't adapted. Now, I will say, I do think in some markets, depending on your market, DoorDash is just trash. I think, obviously, I know that that can be true for some people. But I also think sometimes it's how we're moving and how we're looking at the app, what time we choose to work, what time we choose to pause it. If I'm next to a McDonald's, a Little Caesars, and I don't like those in my market, and you just dropped off, they're probably going to send you one. So pause the app, drive away towards where you want to be so it doesn't send you trash. Like there's little things you can do to manipulate it to where you're not seeing as much junk. That's how I look at it, but I don't know. I want to hear a little bit more.
Well, at the same time, I can say there now, I am saying that, like the Spark Walmart right now, I'm saying it's great.
Yeah.
But if somebody like compared to what you said, when you hear somebody talking trash about DoorDash, you get your feelings, right? Now, if somebody tells me that Spark is trash and all that, I will not get my feelings because I'll understand that it's not working for that. The Spark is not working for that area.
Yeah.
I'll accept that, but I will not try to say that everybody's is being it's not being truthful.
It's being like I said, everybody's being a hater.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody
I don't
comes
get
up,
my feelings
you
about
know,
it.
why are you saying the Spark is great when they're seeing it? It's not great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to them. I'm not gonna say that they're lying, or they're making shit, or they're just not doing it the right thing. I'm gonna say that it's definitely not working in their market.
Yeah.
Spark, and that's the truth. Like you said, DoorDash is not going to work for every market, and the same thing applies with Spark. There are people who are not making it with Spark in other markets. I've gotten those responses as well. So what I'm saying is that figure out what's going to work in your market. What app is going to work in your market?
I'm glad you said that.
It doesn't necessarily DoorDash is the number one. That is not a true statement. It's whatever works in your market. It could be Deliver That. It could be better than Spark and DoorDash.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'm glad you said that. And I think I'll be honest with you, because you said, well, you get in your feelings if somebody mentions DoorDash. You know, I don't get in my feelings when they mention DoorDash. I'll be honest with you, Dino. What bothers me, and it shouldn't, because this is a personal problem. This is something I got to work on. I know that about myself. I have a hard time like understanding stupid people. You're not stupid. I know you're not. But I'm saying when I see people and they're doing the same thing and expect a different result, and they come on